paved a long, long time ago. I know I'll see you in my dreams. I always do, and it always seems like you're right here beside me. You know I miss you so, I miss you so. Oh, 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 I miss you so. Maybe I'm mixed up in my mind, but when I think back, it's hard to find exactly what went wrong and made me ever want to go.
Government has become too big, too overtaxing, and is constantly overregulating every aspect of your life.
If you agree with that, tune in to Consumer Choice Radio every Saturday at 10 a.m. here on the Big Talker 106.7 FM with me, Yael Osowski.
And me, David Clement. For an hour, you'll get expert analysis on what the government is sinking its teeth into next, and how you, as a consumer, can push back.
ConsumerChoiceRadio.com.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes two. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese.
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Wake up to Good Morning Carolina, weekdays at 5:30 a.m.
And good morning, Carolina. It is a very busy news morning today. I'm Donna Gregory.
And I'm Jeff Rivenbark. We're glad you're starting your Tuesday with us.
Be prepared and ready to go for the day ahead.
For the time being, we are dry and quiet, but we are dealing with some patchy fog.
And catch up with the overnight news you need to know before heading out the door.
We'll have more details and more live coverage in just a few moments.
Get up early for Good Morning Carolina, weekdays at 5:30 a.m.
If you're worried your friend may be struggling, remember, you don't have to be there to be there.
You can say how are you or get a fake tattoo. You can ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat on the game, kick off your flip-flops. You can ask on your couch while you binge watch. Whatever gets you talking.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and the Jed Foundation.
You're tuned in to the Big Talker Network, Wilmington, North Carolina's premier internet station for news and talk radio programming. Find us online at bigtalker.live.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to All Things Brunswick. Tonight, Bill is not with us, nor is Dan. We miss you guys. They're off doing their thing. So we are fortunate to have with us tonight Greta. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And our very special guest tonight is someone who I have had the pleasure to know for years, and I have a great deal of respect for this woman. She is our very own District Court Judge, Pauline Hankins. Welcome.
Thank you so much. It's good to be here.
We are happy to have you here this evening. Just recently, the Star News did an article on Judge Hankins for the reason that she went away to school and came back and is now giving back to her community, which is so like her. So you grew up here in Brunswick County.
I did, in Bolivia, right here.
Mm-hmm. And your dad was a farmer?
He was.
Uh-huh. And I know, Pauline, you had several siblings.
I grew up with 9 brothers and 4 sisters. My mom and dad had 14 children.
Yep. So tell us a little bit about growing up in Brunswick County at that time.
You know, so I was born in 1968, tell my age, I'm 54. And, you know, it was different. You know, back then there were a lot of, in my community, a lot of large families, and everyone kind of knew everyone. You know, it's one of those types. I grew up in one of those communities where we were all pretty much related, actually. We just had so much fun growing up. Again, it was so different. We didn't have Facebook and social media, so we spent a lot of time with our parents and with each other,
right?
The people.
Yeah.
And so I enjoyed that. I'm so glad I had that experience. I grew up in the era that I did.
Right.
Riding the bicycles and going outside and playing and again talking to each other. I think it's great.
I think that was the one thing that was important to me as well, because you're actually our games and our times together with cousins and sisters and brothers were the most special times of all.
And with our parents.
Yes.
You know, that
yes.
My mom, of course, was a stay-at-home mom. She had to deal with 14 children.
Yeah.
So just having my mom there in the house and in the kitchen and cooking and helping us with our homework and just, you know, it was just beautiful. Just cherish those days and the memories.
Absolutely. What kind of a farmer was your dad?
My dad farmed. He farmed the food that we ate. So we worked in the fields ourselves, you know, kind of picking out, you know, in the garden. But he had tobacco in his early days of farming. So he would take tobacco up to Columbus County, sell it, you know, during the harvesting season. But he initially was a longshoreman to Sun Queen.
Oh, okay.
Then he had a heart attack back in the early 70s, and as a result of that, he was out on disability, and then he picked up farming to feed us.
Right.
And so it became, you know, not just a way of generating income, but also just feed his family.
Sure.
Yeah, and then my mom started selling Avon to sort of supplement his income. She started selling Avon like in early 70s. Yeah, she did, because it's 50 years that she sold.
Wow.
Yeah, and so she helped to generate some additional income with the sale of Avon.
You know, this is so funny because my mom sold Avon too.
You know, it was a great career for her. You know, I don't know how well your mom did. She got all kinds of awards and plaques and certificates, and she was proud of her Avon sales.
Well, they believed in it and they loved it.
They did.
Yeah.
And Avon would come in every 2 weeks. The orders would come in, and we would have our mom, you know, get the boxes in, lay out all the products and bag the orders, and we were part of that whole process for our children. And that's what I love about growing up, that my mom and my dad made us part of their lives.
Right.
Just so grateful. In the field, my dad would be there in the fields with us, and mom would be at home with us. And so, again, I just appreciate time spent with my parents, with my siblings, with my cousins.
Well, I believe that our entertainment was birthday parties at somebody's house or gatherings at church. I mean, we didn't go to movies or, you know, go anywhere else and play games on computers or anything like that.
We did not. You're right. You are exactly right about that. Yeah, like I said, it was a different era from the way things are now.
Yes.
You know, so I just so appreciate my upbringing. And just the, you know, another thing that I really love about that, I think is so different, because I'm a juvenile judge, so I handle the delinquent court where you have teenagers, those under the age of 18 that are charged with crimes, come into the courtroom, and some are just so disrespectful. And a lot of the petitions that are filed alleging the juveniles to be delinquent is really disorderly conduct, disrespect, you know, and things of that nature. Where back in my day, you know, we learned, our parents taught us to respect.
Yes.
Respect them. And that lesson they taught us, that lesson of respect, followed us for the rest of our lives. We knew what it was like to respect our employer, law enforcement, our teachers, going to college, our professors, and it just carried me throughout my life. And so nowadays it's a different type of structure in the home.
It is.
But really there's lack of structure.
Yes.
In the home. And as a result of that, they come into the courtroom thinking we can sort of correct their children's behavior. And we try to, the purpose of juvenile delinquent court is to rehabilitate these children, these juveniles, from their delinquent behavior. But a lot of it has to do with just the neglect that they face at home by not being properly supervised and disciplined and things of that nature.
How sad.
It is very sad.
So sad. I know, because being family orientated, you concentrate on your family events, and therefore, along with that comes the respect.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I know we grew up like that as well. It amazes me that some of the things that I hear now, I wouldn't have dreamed of saying when I was that age.
Yeah, but parents that come into the criminal courtroom, and says, I can't get my child to go to school. Parents are charged with school attendance violation law because kids have missed, over 25 days. And it's like, in my house, it was understood. It's not like my parents made us go. It was understood that we were going to school. I didn't say, I don't know, I feel like going to school. Like, that's not how that works. So it's just amazing to me, some of the things that I hear in the courtroom. Like, God, I wish that some of these kids could have been at my dad's farm for the summer. His camp, his boot camp. Yeah, spent the summer at my parents' house. Yeah, I had a nephew I got to share this. He's 8 years old. He came down. My brother's his dad, but his mom is up in Raleigh, and we didn't know him as a child. We learned later that my brother had a son. He brings me to Bolivia. He was probably 8 years old. He'd never been to the country up in Raleigh. And it was a shock for him. Yeah. So he comes to my house 3 days later. I said, Shamik, go roll the trash can in. He said, y'all don't ask. Y'all just tell us what to do. I said, yeah, you're a child. Go get the trash can. And his body was like, what are you doing here? I'm thinking to myself that I have to remind myself, oh, that's right, I forgot it's a different era, different type of kid. I said, but let's go get that trash can. And so it's so funny. He described at the end of the week, and he was just so amazed that, oh, y'all just are so different. I said, really? Yeah. And then he was comparing the two. I was like, well, that's just how we are.
Wow.
But he's doing very well now. He's spent enough time with us.
Good.
You got good work. It's too late. Oh, no.
Oh, my. Tell us a little bit, Pauline, about going to NC State. I know you graduated in 91.
I did.
And you had a Bachelor
of Science degree in electrical engineering.
Exactly. So I don't think in 91 there were even a lot of women who went in that field.
And that's why there was a grant that came down to try to recruit, for NC State to recruit African Americans to NC State to enroll in the engineering program. Because at that time, my understanding of the African American enrollment was 2-3%. Where the African American enrollment for the college was about 11%, but there were not many minorities in the engineering program. So they came to South Brunswick High School. I had already applied to A&T and got accepted to A&T because I wanted to be an engineer, I thought. And so when that recruiter came and said, I had this table set up, come on over, I want to be an engineer, NC State table, and then he explained to me the grant that was available, that you have this SAT which I did have, you have this particular GPA, which I did have. So long as you maintain this at NC State, you would get this grant. I said, oh, sign me up. It was like going to college with some financial assistance. My parents said I was the first in my family to go to college.
Were you?
I had 7 older siblings, and I was the first to go. My dad actually died in '84. I was in my 11th grade at South Brunswick. My mom didn't have the money. She never worked outside of the home. Of course, she said, you can go to college. I just don't have the money to send you. But my grades were really good. I mean, I did really well at South Brunswick. And so because of that, I was able to get that grant. So I kind of went to NC State tuition free because the grant paid it, provided that financial assistance for me.
That's wonderful.
And I enjoyed engineering. I enjoyed the work. It's just that I interned during the summer at a chemical plant. And during the internship, I realized that engineering was fun, but it was a little, not dull, boring. I just wanted to create a little bit more excitement, a little bit more drama.
Right.
Not fast enough. Yeah. And engineering wasn't it. And then so I said, I graduated in May of '91, electrical engineering degree, and then started law school in August.
Wow. Greta?
Well, I was at Campbell.
You did, I'm sorry?
Campbell University. The Fighting Camels. Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So let's talk about upbringing. So I'm older than you are, by the way. And I grew up in an army camp. So when I went off to boot camp, which was my idea, right? I joined North Carolina National Guard and went off to boot camp. While I was away, my father, instead of registering me at my school of choice, which was NC State, registered me at Campbell because they had a curfew.
Yeah.
Okay, they had a curfew and they didn't have co-ed dorms or anything, right? Okay. And he didn't put me in my major, which was history. He registered me as a business major. Do you think I ever had the guts to go up against him? Nope.
So did you graduate?
I did with a degree in business, with a degree in economics.
But we just didn't do that.
I didn't butt heads with the old man.
No.
Okay. He just decided, what are you going to do with that? Well, I'm going in the army. What difference does it make? He goes, and that's why I do the thinking around here, and you don't. I mean, that's how it was.
And that's how it was with my dad. In the 11th grade, it was so funny. He died in November, my junior year. But I remember telling someone that September, I wanted to go off to college. I wanted to go to college and get a degree in engineering. My dad was like, "You going to Wilmington?" He wanted me to actually stay at home. He allowed my sister to go to Millamont, where she got her associate degree. And he was saying, "I could do the same. I could go to Wilmington." And I was like, Wilmington didn't have UNC didn't have engineering, didn't have law school either. And then, God rest his soul, but it just so happened he got that in November. And my mom said, wherever you want to go, But with my dad had been, I would have probably been going to Wilmington because he said that's where I was going to go, and that's where I went. Yep. Yeah, that's just how things were back then.
It was sir and ma'am.
That's right. And
yes,
so the Lord
absolutely.
Every inch was yes sir and no ma'am. Okay, and church was not an option.
That's right. Absolutely. Right. So your dad wanted you to have a curfew. My dad wanted you to live at home.
Well,
your dad was a little more generous than my dad.
Best thing for him. You think about NC State where it's located,
right?
I like Wingate. That sounded like a good party school, right? Ooh, hanging with the girls. And he just said, "No, I didn't even know he applied to him."
Oh my!
But in retrospect, we realize now that our fathers loved us.
Oh, very much.
Was protective.
Very much.
And that is what they're supposed to do.
And we didn't turn out too bad.
We did not.
No, we didn't.
They know the danger, the evil that rules this world. And so they were just trying to protect us. My father meant well when he said, allow me to go locally.
I'm a bumpkin myself. I didn't know anything about the world.
Absolutely.
I've never been outside of family except with my family. So.
I knew even less than you did. I grew up in a house on the fair. Right. It's enough of love. Those were my shows back then.
A soldier farmer.
So I knew even less than you did. I promise you.
So what made you decide that you wanted to go into law?
When I realized engineering just was, though I did well in engineering, I graduated, got a degree, kept the GPA, I didn't like the engineering work. So I knew I had to do something else. And so my last semester, that January, I just began to pray and said, "Lord, you got something else for me." And then law fell into my spirit.
Really?
I was like, law school, that's interesting. And just so happened, I was called and, you have to take the LSAT. The deadline was like that next 2 weeks out. I signed up for the LSAT. I went at the diagnosis state, there was a store called Kmart. I got this little study LSAT book from Kmart for like $9. For the next 2 weeks, I was studying for the LSAT. I took it, did well enough to get into law school that August, and there I was.
Wow.
So it wasn't anything that I never thought about being a lawyer. I always thought, I love science and math. I love calculus, physics, chemistry, did very well in math. I excelled in all those classes. I just knew I was going to be an engineer. To be honest with you.
And it was too boring for you.
It was the work, you're sitting there and they give you this project to work on, and you're working on in your office and design. I was an engineering designer, so electrical engineering did it.
Wow. And so when now you practiced law in Brunswick County.
I did.
For
so when I graduated law school in '94, I came back down here.
Okay.
And that was an interesting thing there because when I was in law school, I did patent law because I have an engineering degree.
Right.
Patent law would be corporate law.
Yeah.
Because I could read the engineering designs that a patent attorney would need to do in some cases. But I wanted to come home. Yes. And so I decided that I'm going to come back to Bolivia.
And you practiced law for how long?
18 years before I went to the bench. I worked with Ramos and Lewis for 5 years, and then in 2000 I started my own law office in Bolivia, the law office of Pauline Hankins, and I operated that for 12 years, and then decided to file on the bench.
So you just woke up one day and said, "Hey, I want to be a judge."
Well, I just felt like I would make a good judge, to be honest. I did. I just felt like I had the experience. Napoleon Deckford had announced his retirement. I'd always said I would never file against a sitting judge, but he had announced his retirement.
Yes.
And I was like, why not give it a chance? And I had prayed about that. And at that time, Ola was a Superior Court judge. She had left the District Court bench in '98 and went to the Superior Court bench. We'd not had an African American District Court judge in the district for 14 years. I mean, from '98 until 2012. And I believe in diversity. I just believe that it would be good to have,
Absolutely.
Have a female, a district court judge, an African American, and I was well versed in the experience in all the courts. I thought it was just like things just fell into place.
And apparently, a lot of other people, as you do.
You're exactly right.
Which is a great thing. I remember that. I remember when Ola went. Yeah, I do indeed. And I remember when you came. So, tell us what kind of, what is your specialty, so to speak,
right now I'm
on the
doing
bench?
juvenile court. I've been doing that since Fred Ford went to the Court of Appeals.
Right.
I took over juvenile court. First I took it over for the district, but it was so much work. That's why we were able to get that 7th seat. Sarah will now be doing juvenile court in Columbus and Clayton. I am the juvenile judge of Brunswick County. So I handle cases where Department of Social Services file petition alleging children to be abused, neglected, dependent, and do termination for rights, and also handle delinquent juvenile court. And that's primarily what I do.
Okay. So basically, you work with children.
I do.
That's wonderful.
That is my heart. That's always been my passion, to work with children.
Right. That is great. And I know that you are also the director of Christian education at your church.
Yeah, at St. John, the church that I grew up, which I still work with them, but I work now in the entire community. So there are like 3 African American churches in my community, and we call it the Piney Grove community. And I kind of work with all 3 of the churches doing the summer. I do a vacation Bible school. I teach the adult class doing that vacation Bible school. And then there are times I do legal workshops and all kinds of workshops in the different churches in my community for the students.
That's great.
We
So,
with everything.
and once again, you're working not only with adults, but in the church with children.
With the children.
That's wonderful. Before we get into the really heavy-duty stuff, I think we're going to take a little break and pay some bills. So, and then we're going to come back and talk at length with Judge Pauline Hankins.
Veteran Awareness sponsored by You Are Not Alone. Today's veteran homeless rate is approximately 19,750, and the numbers are declining because of the various veteran programs. If you are a veteran you know is homeless, please call 877-48-VET. This is a confidential and toll-free call. From this veteran to other veterans, please be there to help our brother and sister veterans. Again, the number is 1-877-424-3838. And thank you for your service.
This show is also sponsored by Dr. Tony Maglione. Dr. Tony is a cardiologist practicing in Wilmington. He accepts Medicare patients, and his office is located across the street from New Hanover Regional Medical Center at 2032 17th Street. The office number is 202-1071. Dr. Tony is an author whose last book is Rules for Conservative Patriots, and it can be purchased on Amazon. His website is www.drtonymag.com.
Marine Service Pro and the Tackle Box Seafood, located at 8210 River Road, Southport, is open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, with the Tackle Box open Monday through Saturday, 7 to 6. Marine Service Pro is a full Suzuki and Tohatsu dealership. They deal in pre-owned boats, full service and repair, with certified technicians in all engines, and fiberglass specialists. The Tackle Box offers fresh, local seafood, live bait, a tackle shop, and fish packing and shipping. They also offer a full-service U-Haul dealership. Spend time with Leon or Jenny for one-stop shopping at Marine Service Pro and the Tackle Box Seafood, 8210 River Road, Southport.
Dad! Come on! Over here! Look at this, Dad! Over!
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree
It's huge!
is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing!
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go, like hiking, biking, fishing, or camping. Or do your own thing when you get there with family and friends. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org. That's discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Are you nervous about joining a gym? Anxious about not being able to keep up with others in the fitness classes? Full Circle Fitness has your solution. We specialize in working with those just getting started on their fitness journey. Our coaches tailor each workout to you and your level of ability, so you don't have to worry about keeping up. There's no better opportunity to get started. Call today, Full Circle Fitness, 910-399-8350, or visit FullCircleFitnessNC.com.
All Things Brunswick. Our guest this evening is Judge Pauline Hankins, a Tri-County District Court judge. And welcome back.
Thank you.
We have been talking with Pauline about her childhood, the fact that she went to get her education and returned to her home in Brunswick County to give back to her community. You need to be applauded for what you have given back to this community. There are so many things that I want to talk to you about that I don't know where to start, but I do know, I remember in 2008, you affiliation from Democrat to Republican. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Oh, I can. You know, it's so funny. I've always actually been conservative. When I was in high school, took civics, I learning the principles of the party, of the different parties. I knew that I was conservative. I knew the values that my parents had taught me. I grew up in a home, a mom and a dad, 14 children. They loved life was precious, sacred, the sanctity of life. So funny, my mom would say that someone would say, "Why are you having so many children?" And she said, "I'm going to have as many as the Lord would want me to have." My mom and my parents were so conservative, they didn't even believe in birth control. So they just felt like life was in God's hand. Not even just whether you're going to have a child, but whether the child will even be conceived. It was all in God's hand as to how many children they would have. So I grew up with this whole mentality, a love for children. Again, a husband and a wife taught us to work hard. My father didn't think that we were entitled to anything. He thought we were supposed to work for it. And I'm so glad that my parents raised us like that to, bless a child who has their own. So I believe in capitalism. I believe in entrepreneurship. I believe in all of those things. So it was easier for me to kind of switch parties. Honestly, I got to share the story when I was in high school. At that time, I grew up in Brunswick County in the 80s. I didn't know many Black Republicans. And so I felt like, I didn't want to be a Democrat, and I felt like I couldn't be a Republican. So I had said I just would not register to vote. And I did not when I was 18 years old. When I came back from college in 94, I was working on Ola's campaign in 98, and I said something to her. She said, I said, I reckon I need to go ahead and register. She looked at me, and I was 30 years old at the time. She said, what do you mean go ahead and register? I said, I've actually never registered. She said, you're kidding me. How could you, educated, one in graduate law school? I said, I don't want to be a Democrat, can't be a Republican. So she says, at that time, she was a Democrat. I registered Democrat. And this was like in 98. And then I just had I call it a Pauline Road Damascus experience in 08, where the Lord just really spoke to me and says, hey, what are you doing? I was like, I don't know, follow the crowd. Then he reminded me the crowd will not be doing well. Can't follow the crowd. And so, and it's at that moment I said, and really it came from an interview that I saw that one of my favorite authors, Rick Warren, was having with, at that time, Senator, it was Obama and McCain. And Rick Warren asked the question, when does life begin? And McCain was very adamant, just like that. He said it begins at conception, and that's what I believe too. And so that Monday I switched parties. I said, you know what, I'm going to have to join the Republican Party, whether they want me or not. Here I am. Somebody said, why are you in our party? I said, because the Lord put me here. And I jokingly said, it wasn't my will, it was the will of the Father for me. And so.
And I don't know who told you that you couldn't be a Republican because you were wrong.
But this was back in would have been in 1986. Now I'm in high school, like in 85, 86 at that time. So I said, I'm just going to not register. Isn't that crazy?
And the amazing things that you have done for this party, such as starting what we is quite the celebration.
The Juneteenth.
Do every year.
Absolutely.
Juneteenth. Tell everybody what Juneteenth
is. So once I got involved, I came here one night at an executive meeting. I said, I want the Republican Party to sponsor Juneteenth celebration, and of course I had to educate what Juneteenth. It commemorates not just the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation, but the execution of it. Because I don't know if y'all know the story, it was signed, but it was a couple of years later before the news got to Galveston, Texas. And at that time, they were still in slavery, not realizing that Abraham Lincoln had freed them. But Abraham Lincoln, as we all know, was our first Republican president. And it was under his administration, it was he who signed the Emancipation Proclamation, which gave us our freedom. And I always knew the history of the Republican Party. I always knew that they fought for the rights of all, equal rights, for justice and liberty and things of that nature. So that's why, honestly, I wanted to be a Republican way back in high school. But once I got involved, I wanted to educate folks, and not just African Americans, but everyone on the history of the Republican Party. And I wanted to say to the future Paulines out there, who would have wanted to be, who wanted to be a Republican, you can join this party.
Right.
Yeah, we're going to celebrate and we're going to welcome you and you can be a part. And you know, when I first did that Juneteenth banquet in 2014, I remember looking at the number to see how many African American Republicans we had in Brunswick County at that time. I think it was about 53. When I checked it last year, we had about 254 Black Republicans. That we have grown that much.
I believe.
Yeah, we have, and so it's been fantastic to see the growth. And I tell everybody, you know, especially my folks, Black folks, just read the platforms, read the principles, and see if the principles of the Democratic Party is actually working for our race, for Black folks. And you know, just do your research. Yeah, just make an educated vote, educated decision. Just read.
I believe, Pauline, that you have educated county as to what it just amazes me that you brought about Juneteenth at the same time that this country was starting to realize how important that was.
Absolutely. Yeah, we were early though. We did it before they began to realize it. We started in 2014 and around 90, and then around 2019 they began to say, "Oh, okay, Juneteenth is important." You know, so funny though. I love going back looking at the number of African Americans who switched parties. I have a sibling. And they argue with me. And when I checked a year ago, they had switched their Republican. They didn't tell me that. And we argued at the dinner table. It's a lot of, you know, and they're arguing me down, but they switched parties. But they didn't tell me. I had to see it for myself. But I think it's great. And then even though, you know, some have said to me, I don't know if I can be Republican, but they came out of the Democratic Party, and I felt like that's okay. That's step one. That's a great step. Yeah. So I'm actually pleased with those as well.
But I think when you did Juneteenth, you brought everybody together.
I did. It was fun.
We had the first one.
The first one I did. I did the nameplates for the table, Greta. You were not there for the first one. So I was sitting Black folks with white folks.
Yep.
And it was fantastic.
It was.
It was it was mixed. It was diverse throughout the whole room. And I just thought it was absolutely beautiful.
But not only that, there were people of both affiliations.
I love that.
There.
Absolutely. We had as many Black Republicans as we did Black Democrats. And I'd love to see so many Republicans. I did. I just thought it was fantastic.
And you also added to your Juneteenth celebration a scholarship.
I did.
Which was awesome.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And what I really appreciate about this party, you all have welcomed, you know, me and just other African American Republicans. Last year, I asked our chairman if we could present at the Lincoln Gala because we didn't have Juneteenth because of COVID. We didn't do it in 2021. And he was like, sure. And Open gave me the mic, and I remember the day before I called him. I said, how many minutes do I have? 2, 3? He said, no, I'll give you about 5 or 10. I said, oh, okay. So I got up there. If you can give me 5, 10 minutes, I'm going to really, you know, share some things. And so it was just beautiful to be a part of that, you know, to be a part of the Lincoln Gala.
Well,
you were there, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
We were all there.
Yeah. Wasn't it beautiful?
It was beautiful.
To incorporate little Juneteenth into the Lincoln Gala.
It was amazing.
It was wonderful.
It was.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Yes, I was there because I got.
You got the award. That's right. That's right. You got the award.
I was. I got the wrong.
Absolutely, you did. You did. I remember it. Absolutely.
But you know, the thing that I remember back about the first Juneteenth is that, like I said, everybody that was there was of both affiliations.
Absolutely. That's right.
There were Blacks,
That's
there
right.
were whites,
That's
there
right.
were, I mean,
We had even Latino. I don't know if you remember. I caught up with. I found someone in
Yes.
Leland, and she came and had a table. I can't remember her name, Teresa, but she had a table of Latino
Yes.
Republicans.
Yes, she
So we
did.
really had a diverse group.
Right.
We
And it
did.
was wonderful. It was just wonderful.
It was.
And I think that your work with the diversity in our party has been outstanding.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I do. It's been tough, but it's been worth it.
Sure.
Yeah, I want everyone to become educated.
And it shows.
I do. Knowledge is power. Tell people that all the time. It's powerful to learn some things. Not what CNN News says, or MSNBC News says,
right?
But facts.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's power.
Did you have a question?
Do I have a question? Well, it's getting harder to find facts out there. It really is. Everybody's so dug into their position. But I actually have a lot of optimism for Eastern North Carolina. I really, what I see here is not people who are angry at each other, right? I see people here who want to be here.
That's right.
And they're happy to be alive. And they have respect. And that is an illness I would love to spread throughout the state.
That's right.
I really would. And I want. How do you feel about it? Do you feel that enthusiasm?
I do. I really do. That's why I'm actually ready to do another Juneteenth banquet. I'm ready to do some things now that COVID is under control.
Yes.
I've been, sort of been laying dormant for the last 2 years, but I'm ready to do something. I am. I feel the energy.
I thought it was a fun night.
Yeah, I'm ready. I feel the energy. And I do feel the love. I do feel that folks are understanding. We've got to listen to each other.
Yes.
Yeah, and we've got to work together. We have more in common than we have different. Than our differences.
Well, somebody's got to do it.
Absolutely.
And if it's not out there in Washington, D.C., then it better be right here in Brunswick County.
That's right.
And I think we're actually doing a pretty good job of it.
Absolutely.
And I am
Absolutely.
How does it make you feel when you are sitting on that bench, knowing that you are on land that was once worked by slaves?
That's what my family were slaves. That amazing. It's an awesome feeling. I think about my foreparents, whom obviously I didn't meet them, my great-great-grandfather. I just wish they could look down and take a glimpse.
They know.
I know. I wish they could take a glimpse and see how far this family, the Hankins family, how we have done, progress and have done so well. I do.
Hankins is a well-known, well-respected name in this country.
I believe that.
I have to tell you just a brief story. We had a little gathering here a couple weeks ago, and when I left on the way home, I hit a deer. And the gentleman whose house I was in front of came out. He was so nice. And he said, "Would you like to come in the house and warm up?" And I said, "No, that's okay." I was waiting for the police to come and write a report. Well, come to find out, he was your cousin.
I got 2,000 cousins.
His name is Stan.
Oh, Reese?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Well, I have to tell you, he stayed with me.
That's awesome.
The entire time, waiting for the police to arrive.
That's beautiful.
Would not leave me out there alone.
Oh, yeah,
Told me to get in the car. And so we got to talking about you.
That is so funny.
And I said, well, I did not relate the name Reeves to Hankins, but I can certainly tell that you are of that family.
Oh, yeah. He moved away, but he moved back home a few years ago, and it's so good to have him back. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, he's a great fellow. He really is.
Well, I have met some of your family members. I don't remember meeting any that weren't kind, outgoing, and wonderful people.
That's awesome.
And I know that my mom thought the world of you.
And I love Mom. So enjoyed hanging out with her at that event we had up in Belleville. You remember that event? Her and I sat to the table while you were up doing the work. Her and I sat and talked the majority of the time, talking about you and other things.
So you have done a lot for this community, and I bet that folks in this community wish that more of their young people would go away to school and come back and give back what you have.
I'm trying to recruit some of my relatives to come back. When they graduate college, they'll get a job offer elsewhere. And I'm trying so hard to get some to come back to the community.
You have just recently been appointed by the Senate, and I think you need to share that with our audience.
Yeah, so the North Carolina has this North Carolina African American Heritage Commission. The purpose is to preserve, protect, and to promote African American history, to preserve it. And there are 8 commissioners in the state, and I was appointed by the Senate. The Senate has a seat on the commission. They're representatives. So I was appointed by the Senate to serve on that commission. I'm about to have my first in-person meeting on January 20th. I'm actually excited to meet the other 7 commissioners. I just got appointed last fall. And so I'm going to be doing some things here in the county, just working on some ideas as to what I'm going to do. To promote, preserve our history. And Brunswick County is rich in African American history. You know, we came here as slaves, but even as slaves, we were innovative and we were creative and we worked and we helped to build this county. You know, even though we were slaves, most of the work was done by sort of my folks. And so the story needs to be told. We're more than just a sentence in Brunswick County history that the slaves worked. No, the slaves did more than work. We made this county, we helped to make this county what it is. And that's my job.
I think you're perfect for this position.
So I want to tell the story. I want to tell the whole story like we were part of this county, part of the growth of this county.
Now, exactly what is required are you able to?
If I have any out there that would be involved in working on the committee, I'm forming a local committee, the Brunswick African American Heritage Society. And I'm actually going to have my first Zoom meeting coming up in a couple of weeks. So if anybody would like to join, just email me, hankins@atmc.net. Really easy, hankins@atmc.net. If they would like to join. I'm looking for anybody who has an interest in history, not just African American history, but history. Because again, even though I'm representing African American, well, my job is to preserve our history. I don't necessarily consider it to be, it's the Brunswick County history.
Right.
It's history.
Right.
It's the history of Brunswick County. So if I have someone out there, be it Caucasian or African American, who's interested in telling the story, the history of Brunswick County, just join the committee and let us work together on it.
So will they be compiling all of this?
I'm hoping folks have already started compiling information and facts and data and have pictures and things like that. That's what I want. And I don't know how we're going to do this, how we're going to present it. And I'm working with, so as a commissioner, I'm working with like the Brunswick Arts Council. I'm working with the local library. I talked to the director just last week of the Brunswick Library. So what we do, we'll have an area within the library with African American books. Yeah, that's how we're going to do. We're going to come along and work alongside agencies that's already involved in promoting African American history, and we're just going to come alongside them and assist them in what we could do.
Oh, that is
wonderful. Yeah, because this summer I'm looking to have a sort of a week, like a summer camp. African American students, we'll go to Brunswick Town one day. I talked to Jim Key. We'll go to the library one day. We'll go to the courthouse one day. And they're going to learn history. And not just African Americans, they're going to learn the history of Brunswick County. And that's what we're going to try to plan for a week in July.
Oh, that is wonderful. Well, I think they've chosen the right person.
We'll have a day on politics too. You know, just to talk with them early about the parties, you know. Sure. Absolutely. Yeah, so funny. I was teaching Vacation Bible School. So I rotate. So in church, I may teach the adults. In another church, I'll teach the teenagers. So one year, I was teaching teenagers a couple of years ago. I had a debate, political debate, Republican versus Democrat. And it was just so interesting to see these teenagers go at it. It was some of the things they were saying, because they had to do their research to get ready for the debate. I gave them a question, and so they had to debate it. And it was fun to see, actually. I love it. It was beautiful to see the kids, some of the things they said during the debate. I was like, oh.
That's out of the mouths of babes. What can I say? Sometimes we get taken back and think, oh, that was very well put, better than I could do.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Well, to the young people in this county, going forward and trying to decide what they want to do with their lives.
Now, I'm a person of faith, so I just believe, the scripture says, in all our ways acknowledge God, and He'll direct your path. So I certainly believe that, had I prayed about it before I went to NC State, and just put all that time and energy in engineering, I prayed He would tell me I was going to be a lawyer, and I may would have done pre-law, criminal justice, or something like that, but, I didn't until my senior year. I tell everyone to really, God has a will for all of our lives, and it's only in His perfect will that we find the peace and the comfort that we're looking for in life. I think life brings so much confusion and turmoil and chaos, but I think once we get into the will of whatever God's will is for our life, once we find what that is and begin to flow in that, I think we're able to rest. So I tell people all the time to really pray about it. And then I also say, God has put people in our lives that can speak into our lives. And your parents, your aunties, your teachers, your just any adults that's placed over you that you have respect for. You can talk with them, and a lot of times they can tell you what they think is best for you. And older people are just full of wisdom. You just have to humble yourself. I say to young people, and listen to them. Again, I go back to what I was saying earlier. I'm glad that my parents taught us to listen and to respect them. So I was able to respect, my aunties and my uncles, and they really helped me out so much, just directing things and what I should do and what I shouldn't do. And so, because I was able to, because I had respect for them, I was able to listen to them. And because my ears were open, they were able to speak into my life and were able to give me some good advice, some words of wisdom.
I just want to know how I can be you in the next life. When I grow up, I'll be.
Oh my goodness! Thank you so much. Yeah, you didn't meet my mom. Mary did. Everybody says I'm a lot like my mom, and actually that's a compliment for me. She was a fantastic woman,
She don't live with us anymore.
She died at 19 of cancer.
Okay.
Yeah, she did. But Mary met her.
She was a very quiet lady, but you could see her. But you knew there was a lot going on in there. A lot.
Yeah. It's so funny. The first time I brought her to the Juneteenth banquet, and we got home that night, I said, "What do you think? She probably was also nice to me." I said, "They had better be nice to you." When you expect anything less, she says, "Well, I didn't know, Paul. I didn't know." It's so funny. I was like, "Of course." She said, "You all were just so nice to her."
Well, when she walked in the door, it was like I knew immediately who she was. I did.
Yeah.
And I was at the table, and I knew immediately who she was.
Oh, yeah.
She was a great lady.
I appreciate the love that you all showed her, to be honest.
And I agree, you are a lot like her.
So people don't.
Yes.
Like your mom. Yes. So, yeah, she was just a wonderful person.
Besides your mom, Pauline, if you think back, who is maybe one person outside of your family who influenced you the most growing up?
That you would know would be Ola. Not growing up, I'm sorry.
No,
I had a spirit. You know what? Stan Reeves, his aunt, he had an aunt named Annie Carolyn. She was my spiritual godmother. She died 3 weeks after my mom did. But she probably had the biggest influence in my life outside of my immediate family. Yeah, she sort of spiritually mentored me.
I knew that Ola had to be there.
But as I got older,
Right.
Ola was.
Yeah, because she was an influence in all our lives.
She does.
Mine as well. So, she's missed.
She really is. But I had a couple of teachers that were really great. My fourth grade teacher, Barbara Hewitt from Cedar Grove, she played a huge role in my life. And some of my teachers at South, a couple of my teachers at South Brunswick just played a huge role.
Right.
That's why I say to young people, teachers can really help you if you have the right attitude towards them. I would ask, stay after class and ask questions when I didn't understand, I didn't know, and they were so willing to help. And but with attitudes nowadays, there's a disconnect. But I was connected to so many of my teachers.
I think we all were. I thought teachers were an important part of my life.
Very important part of my life.
Yeah. So,
because I had a teacher who in high school, my mom had never been to college. This teacher helped me do my application for NC State and A&T at the time. She helped me do the application for the grant, and she just really so helped my life and blessed my life. And I think teachers are willing to help if we posture ourselves in such a way that we can receive their help.
Sure.
Teachers are just fantastic.
Yes, they are.
They are.
Well, those kids are still out there.
They are.
They're still receptive. There's a bunch of kids out there that still need that. We have a reading program that my neighbors are all fired up about there. And I think my husband has joined it officially today, where you work after school with children who are struggling with the reading or the math, what have you.
Oh, that's great.
He had his interview, and he says it's astonishing.
It is.
The hands-off of parents and the fact that these kids struggle as much as they do. That is a really sad state.
It is. And you have kids with so much potential.
Yes.
So much potential. They just don't have the help, the support, the resources. Parents are struggling themselves, though.
Yes.
And unable to help. Some just don't, but some are just not able to help. They're not in a position to help. They're struggling with an addiction or mental illness or just so many other poverty. So it's just so many issues.
It's true.
It is a tough world, I'll tell you. Pauline, I cannot thank you enough for joining us this evening. We're going to have to take a break and pay some bills, and we will be back to say goodbye. But I cannot thank you enough for everything that you do for our community, for our party. You are an awesome lady.
Thank you so much.
And an honor to know you.
Well, thank y'all for having me in the party.
We will be right back, folks.
The great Pauline Hankins, ladies and gentlemen.
This show is also sponsored by Dr. Tony Maglione. Dr. Tony is a cardiologist practicing in Wilmington. He accepts Medicare patients, and his office is located across the street from New Hanover Regional Medical Center at 2032 17th Street. The office number is 202-1071. Dr. Tony is an author whose last book is Rules for Conservative Patriots, and it can be purchased on Amazon. His website is www.drtonymag.com.
Veteran Awareness sponsored by You Are Not Alone. Today's veteran homeless rate is approximately 19,750, and the numbers are declining because of the various veteran programs. If you are a veteran you know is homeless, please call 877-48-VET. This is a confidential and toll-free call. From this veteran to other veterans, please be there to help our brother and sister veterans. Again, the number is 1-877-424-3838. And thank you for your service.
Marine Service Pro in the Tackle Box Seafood, located at 8210 River Road, Southport, is open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, with the Tackle Box open Monday through Saturday, 7 to 6. Marine Service Pro is a full Suzuki and Tohatsu dealership. They deal in pre-owned boats, full service and repair with certified technicians in all engines and fiberglass specialists. The Tackle Box offers fresh local seafood, live bait, a tackle shop, and fish packing and shipping. They also offer a full-service U-Haul dealership. Spend time with Leon or Jenny for one-stop shopping at Marine Service Pro and the Tackle Box Seafood, 8210 River Road, Southport.
Have you heard about Cape Fear's only fitness community exclusively for those over 50? At Full Circle Fitness, we understand that goals, lifestyles, and our bodies change through the decades, which is why our Living Fit After 50 is custom designed to help you get a safe, effective workout without spending hours in the gym. Get started today. Call 910-399-8350 or visit FullCircleFitnessNC.com.
Hi, I'm Eric, a student at Hillsdale College. Here is President of Hillsdale College, Dr. Larry Arnn, on natural rights versus entitlements.
America was founded on the idea that human beings are born with natural rights, such as the rights to life, liberty, and property. A person who holds this view of rights makes no demands on others except that they respect those rights. Today, however, many Americans talk about rights to a college education, state-of-the-art medical care, and even birth control pills. These are rights understood as entitlements, and a person who holds this view of rights, far from making no demands on other people, is making claims on other people's money and resources. This understanding of rights not only sets citizens against each other, but it undermines the whole idea of natural rights.
This Constitution Minute was brought to you by Hillsdale College. To receive a free pocket Constitution and Declaration, go to constitutionminute.com.
Welcome back, folks. It's been another All Things Brunswick extraordinaire this evening with Judge Pauline Hankins. What a pleasure to have you with us.
It's been wonderful.
Thank
It's been an honor.
you so much. And I wish you the best of luck on your new committee.
Thank you.
And thank you, Greta, for coming on and being my sidekick because I don't like being up here alone. I think she and I do a good job together anyway.
We're flexible here in the Brunswick
We are.
We really are.
Folks, please join us next week in Things Brunswick, where I hope that Bill and Dan will be returning with us. And we will be putting the word out for good guests. If there is someone that you would like to see, please email me at calmstillwell@gmail.com and let me know who you'd like to see on our program. So, any last words of wisdom, Greta?
Just keep being awesome, Judge.
I just want to thank you, Mary Stillwell and Greta, for having me tonight. I really enjoyed it. You all are doing a fantastic job for the party.
Thank you.
You all represent the party well.
It's Juneteenth.
I am too. I told Wantana to get ready.
Yeah.
Y'all need to come. It's a good party.
Absolutely.
Yes,
it really is.
How are we doing, TK? Thanks for joining us.
You're tuned in to the Big Talker Network, Wilmington, North Carolina's premier internet